Sometimes people are banking on your silence. So prove us wrong by not being silent.
It's hard to think that your voice always counts, and it's hard to think that that one little vote makes that big difference. But as somebody who lost her first election by 32 votes, I can tell you every vote really does count.
What is the most important quality for a Supreme Court Justice nominee?
Honesty, not being rapey.
The belief and the understanding of equity, and that justice is for all.
And all justices are challenged on their personal views, and they're forced to try to remain unbiased and make right decisions that are for the greater good and not just for their personal concerns or personal interests.
Which famous person would you most like to hang out with, dead or alive?
Ruth Bader Ginsburg was on the top of the list, and then also Melania Trump, because I just need to know what she's doing. I just need to know.
How do we get our senators and congressmen and women to vote with the interests of the people?
We really do have a current problem that's much more exaggerated than it has been in the past, which is that we have big money in politics like it's never been before. That's a real thing, where corporations are treated as people. They're not people. We have dark money in politics, much more so than we ever had before, where we can't trace who the donors are, and that really matters because those donors influence votes. And then we have incredible gerrymandering, and the result is disenfranchisement for a lot of Black and brown people and for a lot of poor people.
People need to see people that look like them and sound like them, but also they can see themselves in people that don't look like them.
Clarence Thomas is the only Black person on the Supreme Court, but he in no way, through his vote and through his history, is like me. So it's also very important that we not get caught up in identity politics, because we will end up supporting people who are Trojan horses.
We as voters absolutely need to be able to recognize and call out the power people as opposed to the leadership people. Leadership is listening. Leadership is respect.
I often find my voice being buried by adults. How should I and my peers who are also young women in leadership ensure that our voices are heard and taken seriously?
After the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas shooting, the fact that the high school students stood up and refused to be silenced and called BS on elected officials who refuse to act.
Recognize that it's a process, and it is not about instant gratification. You know, go to your local city council meetings. They can be long and crazy, but you can learn a lot. And you may be looking for the big fish. I'm trying to get to Senator Kamala Harris. Okay, that's probably not going to happen immediately. Okay, so get to someone else.
Campaigns and elections keep data. So you then have to get out and vote in large numbers, because then what they're going to hear in their minds with that data that they see is, ooh, we have a big population of 18 to 24 that are voting. We need to get our message to them or do things that matter to them.
So what we love about when students come to us is that then we can sort of say, yeah, if you come to the school board meeting and you stand up and get loud about that issue, I'm going to be at least one person up on that dais who's supporting you.
Of all the Supreme Court justices, living or dead, do you have a favorite and why?
Absolutely, with Bader Ginsburg. There was no concept legally of sexual harassment before she brought some cases.
Where do you get the majority of your news from?
I watch and listen to several because I like to have lots of different perspectives and viewpoints on a topic before I can make a decision. Because if I'm always hearing like-minded people, I don't actually hear the other side. So it's important to have a lot of different sources to pay attention to.
Everything's on my phone. BuzzFeed. I like Vogue.
Oh, and I've been getting the New Yorker. I used to read the cartoons when I was a kid, and my mom used to read it, so I am now understanding those cartoons for the most part.
Do you like hugs?
Yes. I need hugs.
Hugs.